Ralph, are you there? It's Michael. I've got something to show you. It's bad. It's dangerous. Come on! It's off the wall. It's a real thriller. 1 second. Oh!
What the hell? This has got to be a dream.
Where am I? RetroRalph?
Jared?
What are you doing here?
I just saw Michael Jackson.
Wait. You saw Michael too?
Okay.
I think I know what this is about. Come on, I'll show you.
Take it away.
Are you guys ready? Let's do this!
Alright guys, here it is, the moment you've been waiting for, the Michael Jackson Moonwalker Arcade1up. This game was one of those games in the arcade that I absolutely loved, and when I heard that Jared over at TechToyTV was doing this, I had to check it out. I was so inspired by it. I said, man, you gotta tell me a little bit more about, your love for the game. What are you running? Are you using, the real PCB? And he told me all about it, and I just had to showcase it, and he agreed, and I'm really glad that he did. And plus, he's a really good guy, and I got to meet another really cool person as part of this community. So anyways, I was asking all these questions. I said, but dude, are you running the real arcade PCB? That was my main thing. And he goes, yup, I am. And I was like, dude, those things are really expensive. How did you land that? So I'm just going to let Jared tell the story because it's a really cool one. So check it out. Here's Jared.
You might be asking yourself, why Michael Jackson's Moonwalker? Well, ever since I was a little kid watching the Thriller video on MTV, I've been a huge Michael Jackson fan. And that's led me to want to collect a ton of memorabilia, including video games. And growing up in the 80s and 90s, in the golden era of gaming, there was plenty of Michael Jackson to be had. Of course, I owned the Sega Genesis version. I later bought the Sega Master System version, but there was always one version that eluded me, the arcade version. And I remember playing that with my cousins in our local putt-putt and thinking, wow, I would love to have this. But of course, as a kid, you can't afford to have an arcade game in your home. So, later on, probably around 2002, 2003, I started looking into how much a full-size Moonwalker arcade would cost. And I soon realized that it was going to be too much money for me. But I decided to look into how much the arcade PCB by itself would be. And on eBay at that time, they were going for around $25 or $30. So that was super cheap. So I bid and I won. And yes, I got it for about $25 or $30. And if you know anything about the value of a Michael Jackson's Moonwalker arcade PCB today, you probably can't score one for less than $500. So I got that at quite a steal because no one simply wanted the game at that time. So I eventually turned that into a super gun. I had it in a full-size arcade cabinet that I eventually bought, which was a Street Fighter, but that was only 2 players. So I never had the authentic 3-player experience. And then those $75 Asteroid cabinets went on clearance, and I said, you know what? There's my Moonwalker. And so I was able to score one, and from there I had gotten the artwork several years ago for the Moonwalker arcade, and so I sent that over to Tyler at Arcade Graphics. He did an awesome graphics job. I got with Greg at 99 Lives. He did the awesome control panel, and then lots of the parts I bought from Shane at DIY Retro Arcade. And of course, I want to thank RetroRalph for his help for some of the technical aspects of this and just taking a general interest in the project. But this has been a huge check mark for me because I now have one of my dream arcade cabinets in my home that I can play at any time with friends, 3 players, the full experience. It's just awesome. And I couldn't be more happier with how this turned out.
All right, let's go over to Jared for some gameplay, and then I'll give you some final thoughts.
So let's go over some gameplay for Moonwalker. It's basically a beat 'em up featuring Michael Jackson. And I don't know of any other singer, entertainer, celebrity that had their own arcade beat 'em up at the time. So it's basically your beat 'em up. You have your punch attacks, which you can punch the enemies with. There is a special attack that you can hold and you moonwalk, and then you let off a bigger blast. Other than that, you save the children, which will give you either a health bonus or a dance bonus. And then, of course, you have Bubbles the Chimp, which you collect, and you turn into Robo Michael, which is pretty cool. You're pretty much invincible, and you just kick butt. The other thing that you can do is use your dance magic, and that will cause all of the enemies on the screen to dance and then proceed to die. Like I said, this is a 3-player game, so we'll bring in the other Michaels and I'll control them, and they can do a little choreography for you. You'll see if you stand still and don't do anything, they will do some little dance moves and whatnot. If you do use your dance magic attack, this will cause all 3 of the Michael characters to dance and perform. And so that's basically Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for the arcade. There are 5 stages. This is definitely a game of its time period. Like I said, there wasn't any other entertainer or celebrity that I can think of at the time that had their own beat 'em up in the arcade. And, you know, take away Michael Jackson from this, and this is still a very fun game. I have it on free play. You can probably beat this in about 25 to 30 minutes on free play. But this was definitely a quarter muncher back in the day.
All right, guys, it's final thoughts time. Jared did a killer job on that Moonwalker cabinet. I gotta say, I can't believe he even found a Moonwalker PCB for that price. Nowadays, they're super expensive, as he said. So anyways, I just loved hearing his story and then hearing that he recreated a game, you know, that he really knew and loved in the arcade and got to have it now and enjoy it in his house. That's awesome. I know many of you have done that as well with Arcade1ups, and that's what kind of makes this whole community really cool. Something that was really unattainable with large-scale arcades is now attainable. So whether you like the product in its form, you know, when you buy it in its stock form, or you modify it to create something yourself, it's just a really cool hobby. And it was awesome to hear Jared and Jared's story. So anyways, thanks again, Jared. What I'm gonna ask for you to do is go check out Jared's channel. It's TechToyTV. He does unboxings, toy reviews, technology reviews, all sorts of cool stuff. So go check him out. If you like the page, go subscribe, please. And then leave a comment in his comment section and just tell him, you know, RetroRalph sent you. He'd really appreciate that. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Please consider subscribing to the channel and put your comments below. I wanna know, like, was Moonwalker a game that you loved as a kid? And then also, if not, like, what game is it that you wanna create? Let me know. So anyways, guys, that's it for now. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Hi, this is Michael Jackson.